All right, welcome back, Rage Nation. We got some more Mandatory Malifaux for you. So, I've been waiting to do this. I want to do this on Monday, but yeah, we just got this stuff in the mail today. It was supposed to come in Monday, and I know a lot of people haven't gotten their stuff yet. Some people have, but I wanted to kind of go through, see what we got here, how good the stuff is, what's in it, what's in the boxes, and yeah, it's going to be some really cool stuff. Before we do that, make sure that you guys are checking us out. We're really going to start doing weekly Malifaux content that might include live streaming a game maybe. That could include just talking about some of the new products. Could also just be looking at, and I'm just going to change the window that I got there. Give me one sec. There we go. That looks better. So it also could just be, I wonder if that's showing. Let's go there. Sorry, I'm just checking out. Oh, where are you? Checking out the Chrome browser. Let's try to transition that now. There we go. I wanted that window up there just so we could have the cards while we're talking about some of these models. So, yeah, make sure you check us out on YouTube. We're going to do live streams. You guys can talk. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do Twitch yet. I got to play around and see if I like the settings for it. I kind of like YouTube because it's a little more just, it's basic. It's just dirty, just does a job. So we'll see what happens with that. But make sure that you guys are supporting us. You can talk with us through Twitter, Instagram. We have our own Discord channel. We're on Discord. We talk to people all the time. And then finally, if you want to support us directly, you can support us directly at patreon.com/RageQuitWire. And now that we're not going to be doing as much of the Facebooking, at least I'm not, maybe the other two on the podcast will, just know that you can also check out RageQuitWire.com, where that's where we're posting a lot of our updates and information, models, thoughts, lots of things. So we're going to go ahead and look at all this stuff. And just to give you an idea of what we have 3 of the different title boxes. I guess, I don't know what they want to call these. They're favorite way to play your new master. So we got 3 of those we're going to look at. We have the new Nightmare box, which that's the one I think I'm most curious about because it's the already assembled, and I wasn't super crazy about the Pandora Nightmare box from last year, so we'll see how they did this year with this one. We even have the new Mishappen, so we'll see how that looks. If you follow Weird, they did a stream where they painted this model, and then we also got the iconic Fate deck to see if this is good as well, see what the quality of the cards are, and that way you guys can be informed and see what you think about the new product. So what we're going to do is we'll just kind of start looking at each individual box, and then we'll kind of go from there. And I think I'm excited enough where if we have people talking and joining the chat, that I'm also going to maybe even put some of the stuff together on the stream. We'll see how that goes. If we have people chatting and I feel like staying on, then I'll stay on, put some of this together. We can see how the models turn out. If not, then, we'll just end it with showing the stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and move these out of the way. We'll get into those later. I'm going to move this. I'm actually going to start with the Fate deck. I'm going to put a nice little white undertone here so we can kind of see what's going on with these. So this new iconic one that they had come out. The box is nice. Something good to store your... I guess they got a little magnet on there. Something good to store. I already took it. It was in a plastic shrink wrap. Took it out. Really easy. Didn't damage any of the cards. So you can see on this side, it just says Fate. It has all the symbols on it. They feel pretty good. They feel a little more durable than the Bayou Fate deck. So if you guys have gotten these faction Fate decks, they're nice. I like the way they shuffle. These feel a little bit more durable, okay? Now, if we start looking at the symbols and stuff, you can see that they have the crows. For the number of the card, they have the number of the symbols, so that's kind of cool. And if you are playing this deck, I'm not going to shuffle it. Is that the red joker? It is. So if you flip, they're pretty easily readable with the number just by how many they have. And then, I mean, that's the symbol. So as soon as you kind of get used to it, you're like, oh, these are the tomes, right? So I think this will be decently easy to read as far as some of the moderates and low numbers. So the severes have the big symbol on there. Pretty easy to read. Like I said, I'm not even having this close up, but you can see the art on it's pretty good. I mean, the art actually looks really good, but the main thing that when I look at a Fate deck, it's got to be easy to read. If it's not easy to read, it's annoying. When you have a friend who has a deck and it's just not easy to read, it's just annoying. Enough said about that. All right. That looks like the masks, which are pretty cool. It's that Basilica, whatever that puppet master is. We got the rams. The old guild symbol. Very definable, very cool looking. And the last one we have is the tomes. The severes are very easy to read. Very nice. Got the black Joker. And then finally the red Joker. So it's a clean deck. Like, there's nothing super amazing with it. I mean, if you look at the faction decks, they have the actual character art on them, right? Which are cool. But sometimes they can be a little difficult to read as far as the symbols because you just see them there. I know it's printed up the border, but not as easy to read. So if I'm going to compare these two, and these are Chris's cards, so I'm not going to like super hard shuffle them. But if I'm sitting here, shuffle them the way they're actually going to be, and you shuffle them together, it goes together real nice. I like that. Whereas these are a little more bendy. I mean, you can see that. These are a little more solid. So these feel more like playing cards. These feel like just the faction cards. They're good. I feel like they're not as durable, though. I've played this deck a bunch of times, maybe a dozen times, and it's still in really good shape. So these are still really good cards, but that feels like actual playing cards. So goodbye if you want to pick up that iconic Fate deck. That's a good buy. These feel really nice. So I'm not going to spend too much more time on those. Feel good. Definitely worth picking up if you like getting different cards. So we're going to put those aside. Goodbye, Chris. Not saying goodbye to him, but a goodbye. All right, the one that I'm most curious with is the one I'm going to go to next. Sorry, those of you that are looking at my face, you're going to see me turn around quite a bit. So we have the Toil and Trouble Nightmare box that came out this year. So this is, if you look at the corner here, it's already pre-assembled. Some people like it. Some people really hate it. So we'll see how they did this year. All right, pulling it on out. Okay. So I will say I do like the alternate cards. If you take a look at that, you can kind of see that it's generally the same layout, but the hitboxes are a little different, a little more artistic. You still got the stats on the top. You got the cool art on top. Back's still the same. They're just really cool looking cards. Very flavorful. You got your bases, no big deal there. All right, so let's start with the old Zareta here. So if we're looking at Zareta, right off the bat, I'm actually not hating this. So Zareta, just looking at her first, she already feels a lot better than the Pandora one. The Pandora one was kind of clunky, some extra, I want to say extra plastic, but it just felt like the definition got lost here. When I look at this as Zareta, the definition in the face is really good. You can clearly see the hair strands. It's not flimsy plastic, little bend to it, but definitely not flimsy. So far Zareta is definitely a good one. All right, bad Juju. So here's what we have for the bad Juju. So this is the Cauldron. So this is based off of, what's that old Disney movie? Is it Witches? It's that Halloween one with like Bette Midler and crap in it. It's a good classic movie. I like the model. Personally, though, this thing's going on a 50. I kind of wish it was bigger. So that's the only thing where I'm looking at it. So the bad Juju model is probably, I mean, if we're comparing it, probably about that size. I got my Bayou stuff over there, but I won't get up and get it right now. But just to give you kind of an idea, I got the Whiskey Golem over here. So this is the Whiskey Golem. And this is the Cauldron kind of sitting right next to it. Oh, I'm going to have to fix that. There we go. Okay. So you can see size-wise, it's a big model, but against some of the bigger models that we have in Malifaux, kind of underwhelming. The detail is good though. Once again, if we're just looking at straight up detail, looks good, clear. It's not flimsy. I think just looking at these first two models, I think they did a really good job with it. So then we have the 3 witches. We're going to pull these 3 out. And did they call them anything else besides that? Let's see here. Counts about Juju. Witch of the Woods, that's what they're calling them. So these count as Waldgeist or Waldgeist. So they're the trees that, they're hard to push and whatnot. So this is the first one. This is the heavier set witch. So I'll try to get that a little better. I think those models in the background are messing that up. So she's got a cool look to her. Once again, the detail is just better than the previous year's Nightmare models. So that was the overweight witch. This one is the pretty one. This model actually, okay, this model looks cool. Okay. So she's kind of got this, almost like a Waldgeist is reaching out to kind of capture something. Capture the children. I like that a lot. Good detail. Like I said, not flimsy, not too much bulk to it. Really good detail. And then the Bette Midler witch. That's cool. She's got... So definitely I'm impressed with this over last year. This is the kind of plastic I wish the Pandora set was. This quality is better just already. Okay, let's put them up. So if you don't know, on top of the models that you get, you also get pumpkins. But besides the pumpkin, don't forget you have your little voodoo doll. And it's actually Prince Charming. It's a little toad. It's a cool model, and the detail's there. I'm telling you, I didn't pick up this box purposefully because I was worried about the detail. Chris picked it up because he wanted to get Zareta. So definitely a good pickup because this is good quality plastic. And then looks like there's about 6 pumpkins that you also get with it. So this is a good buy. If you bought the Nightmare box this year, fantastic buy. The models are good quality. If I was going to rate 1 out of 10 the Nightmare box from last year, it had to be somewhere between a 4 for me. The idea was really cool, but the model, the quality of the plastic wasn't there. This, I think the quality of the plastic is probably somewhere between an 8 and 9. It's good. There's a little bendy to it. It's not, as we're going to see with the other models that you assemble, it's just not the same when you have pre-assembled and then assembled. So 8 or 9. And I'd probably give it a 9 or a 10 overall if this bad Juju was a little bit bigger. And the other thing is these witches are Waldgeists, which are on a 40 millimeter. And that's just, they're kind of small to go on a 40. If we take one of these 40s, especially this lovely witch over here, I mean, she doesn't really fill out the base that well. This one does. The one with the kind of the tree branch coming out definitely does. But this one definitely doesn't. The overweight witch, she actually fills it out pretty decent. I just wish that this witch was a little bit bigger, and I wish the bad Juju model was a little bit bigger. So, the bedeviled kettle. So, if you picked up this box this year, good job. It's a good pickup. You even got these to kind of go on to the bases of the pumpkins. So that'll help fill it out a little bit. But definitely a good job with that. Good Nightmare boxes here. Maybe I'll have to find it on the black market because I need Zareta. I actually don't have my own Zareta. I'm borrowing a model from somebody. So goodbye. I definitely recommend if you're looking for Zareta and you like kind of the witch look. That's a cool one. So there's a second box with the Nightmare that came out. And this represents, I think these are kids that are kind of representing the Willow Wisps. And then you have one that's counting as the Adza, or the AIDS, Adzi. So we'll see if this is the same quality. I imagine it is. It seems if they finally figured out how to do their pre-assembled, this is how it should be done. All right, so we got the same cool cards. Right, very artistic, very cool looking. I love these cards. They're really good. All right, so we got, let's go with the ads first, which is the bigger one right here. Okay, so right off the bat, the quality's the same. Detail, the face might, you can't go heavy on the face with this one because this kid's face details are a little bit lacking. Just has like these really dots for eyes. It's a cool model though. All right, and then we got the others. These are counting as the Willow Wisps. This one's cool, the one that I'm kind of tapping on right now. That's a cool looking model. Kind of jealous of Chris now. I'm looking at these models. I'm like, these are actually pretty cool looking. This guy has some little dancer ankles here. Got some kind of skull that that's kind of weird. Definitely a little model. These kind of are. I mean, they're kids, so I mean they should be little, I guess. Hard to get the detail when they're that little. People that don't like painting are not going to like painting those little models. Good quality, though. Definitely impressed with it. I don't know how often Zareta brings the Willow Wisps. When I played Zareta a handful of times, I would bring one Willow Wisp. I never brought two, but maybe Zareta players out there will let me know if that's actually a feasible option. All right, so we got that. So Nightmare boxes, definitely a good buy. If you're looking for some Zareta shit, good year to buy it. The Pandora box I wasn't a fan of. These two boxes, as I just knock my camera, there we go. These two boxes are very good though. So the Toil and Trouble, and then the Beware the Lights. Definitely good buys. So definitely recommend them. All right. Now, if you spent, I think it was over $100, you ended up getting this Mishappen model. So this one counts as Jacuna, which if you've played against Reser players, Jacuna's good. Played against Jackdaw, Jacuna's good. So when you assemble it, and this one's not pre-assembled, you got this model that represents Jacuna, so she's on a 50, but it looks like a water scene. And it looks like she's kind of cut in half and has this upside down umbrella where the water is kind of pouring out of. So let's take a quick look at what this looks like. If you have any comments about it or if you want to see something a little closer, definitely hit me up in the chat. So the Miss models, all of them, they come with their own Miss model that looks like the actual model. So I always love that they do that. That way the card looks like the model. So I love it when they do that. Like I said, she's on 50. All right, so there's a base insert. So you're going to get that water effect. Has a bunch of lily pads on it. Has what the water is going to dump into for this kind of splash effect. So it's a textured base insert. I like that. You got these reeds that are going to go on the base as well. Okay, that's part of her body. That's the water pouring out. You got your umbrella right there. So I dig it. This is, I mean, honestly, it looks like a pretty easy model to assemble. I mean, you only got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. Not bad at all. The only one that might be worrisome is this little part of the umbrella that's sticking up. Definitely breakable, because I think the frog's hanging off of it too. This frog up here. So definitely going to be a model that, yeah, you're going to want to put that one in a special area of your bag that it's not going to get busted. Good model though. This definitely looks better than, well, I don't know. Some people like the Jacuna model. It's got this kind of creepy woman with these, I think there's kids that she's like, you know, has on her base with her. I don't know if she's drowning kids, but that's kind of terrifying. All right, so we got that, got the mishappen. All right, now we're getting into the stuff that I'm excited about. So this is going to be the title boxes. All right. I don't know why the box is this big, because there's like 3 models in it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes here. So this is the best kept secret box. This is, you got Lucius in here, which is the guy that has kind of the hood up and the face covered. You have the, I guess it's Gevatica. He's the enforcer that can be for both keywords of Cadmus and Elite and Mimic. And then finally you have what Nexus, the one of many. So I think I'll look at it, but I think this has 3 models to it. So we'll see. Cadmus is just super annoying. I mean, all right, so you got it on 1 sprue. You got the bases, and we got the cards. Okay. Nexus, one of many. Creepy as hell. Damn Nexus. All right. Oh, Nexus does have 3 models. So this will give you an idea of what it looks like for you. So you got Lucius and Gevatica. And you have these 3 creepy children representing Nexus. I guess Nexus is now possessing children, which is not cool. Leave children alone. All right, so let's see what we got here. So first thing that we have are so this part of the sprue alone is the Nexus sprue. Okay, so you can see you got 3 bodies in there. Looks like 1 is here, 2, and then 3. So the little kid models, I put a bunch of changelings together, so I definitely can understand how frustrating this can be. So you have 1 girl here. You have some bits here that are kind of thin, so you're going to have to be really careful putting those on. Even though this is like tiny, if you look at this little piece right here, there's these tiny, like, almost like spider legs coming off of it. And even though they're super tiny, they're actually pretty durable. So they'll break if they catch on to something. Like if you pull it out of the foam, those things will break off. If you have it just drop, those things are not going to probably break if you just knock it over on the table. So let's look at a couple more of these. So the other small bits. I mean, honestly, when you have kid models in any game, it's not going to be too surprising that you're going to have some small bits like that. Just patience while you're putting it together. They don't look hard to put together. They just look like you got to take your time, because you drop one of these and you can't find it in the carpet. Nighty night. All right. Then we got Lucius, the Dishonorable. So that's going to be this model right here in the middle. Right here. So you can see he's actually looks super easy. I think he's just 5 pieces to put together. You got the hood, the back, leg, arm, and whatever that is. So very easy to put together. Details on the face. I mean, it's covered up. He's got most of it covered up by his hood and then the wrap. So you're not going to get a lot of face detail on this one. This model is going to be cool if you like painting jackets, cloaks, and things like that. And then the last model, this guy is cool. So this guy, this Gevatica, has like a skull face, a trench coat, and then a cane and a top hat. So, I mean, those of you that love you a good top hat. So you can see he's got a skull face over there. He's got a top hat and a cane over here. And even though some of his pieces are little, I'd be worried about the cane a little bit, but honestly, the hat, once you got it on the head, it's not going to go anywhere. Put that up there one more time. So definitely going to be an easy model to put together. So that's a good box. And we'll talk about some of these models if I decide to put them together. I know I had a little less notice on this one, on this stream, so we don't know if I'm going to have people chatting it up. But we'll see. All right, let's go to this is one of the boxes that I'm definitely excited for. So this is the Remade and Reforged. This has Von Schill, which I always just can mistake for Von Stuck, has the Power Man, Charles Hoffman, and then it has the little Metallurgist. So we'll see how this one looks. So assembled, going to look something like that. I don't know if I'm crazy about this little bolt thing, this little metal burst or this electronic burst coming out of his hand. I don't know if I'm going to put that on the model, not going to lie. Metallurgist looks pretty simple. I like the Von Schill model, kind of in this power armor, claws, like he's chasing something. All right, so while we're doing that, I'm going to go back. I'm actually going to pull. I'm going to try to, let's do this. Go to spoilers. Where are you? There we are. I'll at least put Hoffman up. I was hoping they were going to be kind of in the same deal. There we go. All right, so you got the cards with it. Got the big base. Hoffman's on a big old 50 now, so make sure you don't get your big stompy robots all messed up. So we got Hoffman. So Hoffman is all on this top sprue right, or bottom sprue for you guys right here. Looks like this is Von Schill and this is the Metallurgist. Okay, so smaller models. Von Schill's got to be on a 40 though. He is. Okay, so let's look at old Hoff first. There we go. He's almost got like this Charles Xavier thing going on inside his beefed up robot that he newly constructed. So if you look at his model, he has a helmet or some kind of headgear like Professor Xavier from the X-Men would have. And he's still in his kind of nice three-piece suit. But the robot's definitely bigger. You can see you got the arms here. Got a backpack, got some legs, got some arms, bigger shoulder pads, got this huge bolt of lightning coming out. Like I said, I'm going to be curious to see how that kind of looks. This is the one that I'm going to probably put it together. I got my smaller tripod. I'll drop it down so it's easier to see what's going on here. Von Schill looks pretty easy to put together. You just got a couple pieces. You got, looks like about 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe. Ugh, hate it when they do this. I don't like hoses that I have to attach to a model. So you can see over here, I'll put it over a little bit. He's got these 3 hoses that I'm sure are going to go somewhere on his back and side. I'm not a fan of those. I hate putting those on models. Sometimes if it's not super needed, I don't put them on. So until I said that, the rest of the model looks super, super easy to put together. You can see them over here. Until I saw these hoses over here, right? There we go. And then the Metallurgist. Same thing with those pipes. There's some straps on here that I'm not a fan of. So you actually got looks like you got the straps to whatever this canister is. So you can see you got straps. You got kind of this metallic bit here. You got this little pulse here. It's okay. I've put crazier models together. But there's a handful of pieces. The good news is, like I said, it's even though they're small pieces of plastic, they're not going to break super easy. Even these claws, not going to break super easy. I'm a fan. These look good. All right, so that's a good box. Going to keep that out because this is one I'm probably at least going to put Hoffman together. just because he's cool. Yeah, definitely a cool box. I'm excited. Like I've been telling people, I'm slowly acquiring guild stuff, so I'm happy for that. All right, and then the last box, another one. This is the one I'm most happy about because it's got a green skin in it. So this is the Ophelia box with the Perdita, and then you have Sly, the 6-shot. So this is interesting. This box, he's on a 50 because he has like a gun cabinet with him. And me having, having guns, I can appreciate that. Almost reminds me of my personal collection. And I do love how Ophelia is trying to save a piglet. So you can see the models look like this from the back. So you got old Perdita, Ophelia, old Sly, 6 shots. Got your cards. We'll go ahead and switch that up real quick. The old Mecha Mimo. I can't wait to get that model. Are you guys further down? Where did you go? I gotta get that Bayou starter too. So much cool stuff. They gotta kind of just pick which ones are gonna work for you. Sorry, I don't mean to make you guys motion sick. There we go. Perfect. All right. Let's go ahead and look at this plastic. So looks like 6 shots is on his own half here. So everything there is 6 shots. The Enforcer. A lot of it looks like constructing the cabinet. And then you have him. And then, of course, the smaller one's going to be Ophelia. And then we got Perdita, which she looks cool. So let's start with Sly. So you can see over here, back it up a little bit. There we go. So he looks like by himself, just a handful of pieces. So he's about, what, maybe 7 pieces. Really easy. The gun cabinet's got a little bit to it. You can see it over here. You got the guns, pistols, got more of it, got some kind of cushion for it. What you glue it to, kind of aside. It looks like it has legs, so I guess the cabinet moves with them. You can see little robot stompy legs right there. Definitely a cool model. You even got a sign that already has, it's indented, so it already has open on it. So that's cool. I don't know how good Sly is in game, but I'm going to be definitely curious to try him out. Okay, we got Ophelia right here. Do I want to look at that side or that side? This one. So Ophelia, definitely going to be a gremlin size one. Definitely small. Got her head there. She just looks like she's got pieces, but she's easy to put together. And she's small enough and compact that I don't have any question about putting this model together. Perdita, definitely cool looking. She's got her hat. She's a Nephilim hunter. She got this nice cloak, her hat right there. Her head's already assembled, not in like 10, 20 pieces. Some legs and arms and bits to put together, but really not too bad. So, I mean, all in all with these title boxes, I don't know why they're so big. The price is good on them. All right, let me put this over here. The price is good on them. I'm going to get this Hoffman box over here. I mean, the 2 boxes that I had, I think I paid like 80, 85 bucks for. Sorry, I just had to read that. So the problem that, and we talked about this on the last podcast, the problem that you're going to kind of run into is just if you only want one half of this, you have a random model that now you're going to have to do something with. So for me, it's not a big deal. For most Malifaux players, it won't be a big deal. But if you're a solo factionist, it's like, I don't care about this stuff, right? You don't care about Hoffman if you want to just play Von Schill and vice versa. And the problem is if you split this, so you think to yourself, I could split this with a friend. I could just take the Hoffman side and they can take the Von Schill side. But you only have one of the Enforcers. So now somebody's getting the Enforcer and the other one isn't. So to me, I mean, that does make a lot of sense to me. That's one of those things where it's just like, why? Well, if you're going to do it this way and you think people might split it, why not put, I would say, why not put 2 enforcers in there? And then somebody's like, well, then you're wasting a model if I'm just picking up the box by myself. But if you have alternate sculpts, so they're not the exact same, you might like one over the other. So, I mean, why not? I just don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. I can see why some people aren't going to like it because they feel like they're wasting money. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pause the stream real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower the camera. And then once I have the camera lowered, I'm going to assemble at least this box. And I'll probably assemble the Ophelia box too. See if we can get some people chatting up in the chat. If not, I'll just talk while I'm putting stuff together. That's fine too. So talking about some of these cards and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on a brief pause, and we will be right back. Make sure I got that. Okay, that's going to have some stuff in there. Don't worry about it. It's just going to be BRB. Let me move just that. Sorry, folks. Outside that. Nope. Talking about be right back, I want to change that one right there. There we go. All right, we will be right back. We're going to build some models. Don't mind the incomplete information. All right, we are back. And let me pull up Hoffman's card. Just because he's going to be the one that we're going to build first. Oh man, they do have the new one in there. So if we're looking at these blueprints real quick, you can see that his model's not that hard to put together. Got a couple feet, got the main body, 2 arms. Looks pretty simple to put this model together. I was kind of hoping, I didn't think that they'd have the new stuff in there as far as the pyre, or what are they, pyre? No, they're not pyre, they're pylons. And I was hoping they'd have some models in there for those, But guess they're going to make us find and use our own stuff. All right, there. That should be good. Okay. Got the old Discord going. Look out. Yeah, so something I'm looking at here, going back to the chat though, but on the Discord, somebody's like, I don't know if anybody told you, but Hamlin is the other model with the Dashel, and that's fine. I guess we'll make it work. I don't know if anybody's going to play that I know Hamlin. I know Dixon does, so we'll see. But the containment dude looks good. The guy that can put out like fire and blight and whatever looks super good. All right, I'll put the bases over there. All right, I'm going to do Hoffman first. So whenever I do this, especially for newer players, I always take all the pieces off first. Just because I like to... I'm going to get myself set up here. I like to make sure... I'm going to move this a little bit. There we go. So I like to get it all kind of laid out. I also like to dry fit first. So, but I make quick work of it. I don't take forever when I do this. Matter of fact, I'm just going to put all the pieces there for you to see, just because I can cut this out a lot quicker when I just chop. Chop, chop, chop. But definitely make sure that you guys are using a good pair of clippers. Nobody likes to see people just bend the crap off the sprue like a savage. Okay. I'm hoping this fills the base pretty good once it's together. There's Hoffman's main body. Here's the stupid... Clip, clip, clip. So hopefully everybody enjoyed looking at the models, at least seeing that the titles are definitely good as far as the quality of the model. I'm super happy that the Nightmare Box, people are getting their money's worth on that. As long as you don't mind the poses, they're good. And you want to know what? I feel for Weird, because no matter what you do, people are always going to find something to bitch about. So don't feel bad, Weird. It's normal, right? I almost feel like I need another light. I might move that one down. Let me see if I can get this a little brighter here. Now that I got the closer camera. There we go. Maybe that helped, maybe it didn't. I'll have to go back and look at it. I think I just need a higher def camera, or at least one that doesn't autofocus like that. Let me see if I can go into the loggy cam real quick. No. Think I'm just gonna have to mess with it. I really don't like it because I think it autofocuses. So if I put my hand there, you can see it autofocuses, but down here it won't autofocus on it until I get it up like that. So I think I just need a higher quality cam just to put over like that. This is just more of a generic one. All right, let's get this lightning off. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'll put the lighting on. I probably will. I don't know. The Power Man. Okay, and the last one. So this Hoffman, I've heard a lot of people saying that they're not the irreducible damage he can put out. There are a handful of models in this new tidal wave of release that have irreducible damage. So I don't know if we can just hate on Hoffman. So Just got to keep that in mind. Everything looks broken the first time you see it. Don't freak out. It's probably only half broken. All right, last piece, and then we're going to start trimming and putting this together. So the ability that, if you don't know, that a lot of people are complaining about, that's all. So this is all Hoffman stuff right there. Not super hard to put together. But if you look at his card, I'll go ahead and flip it over to the back ability so you all can see it. So this alternate current, sorry, alternating current. So you do +1 damage for each pylon marker next to you within 6, I believe. It's here. Yeah, within 6. So you basically set up 3 pylon markers, and 12 inches away, you can just blast people. And you're giving out a power token too. So really good. You're putting out like 4 irreducible damage. You can't target the same model in the same turn. So, or sorry, activation. So you're going to have to spread it out, but just 4 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage, 4 damage can't reduce. It's just going to be brutal. There's going to be some turns that just wrecks your day. So let's go ahead. Once I get them all clipped off, I get a nice sharp X-Acto knife, and I try not to cut myself. So I'm going to move my pile aside. And some people do more than I do as far as cleaning models up. You can always go back and clean these lines up later. I'm more of let's get the model assembled and get it on the table so I can play it. And then I'll paint it and dash it up. There are a couple of, so I should have shown you this before I did it, but you can kind of see it on this one. Move this so it doesn't try to, there we go. So you can see there's kind of a nasty mold line going down there. It's really easy to trim off. So it's not a huge deal, but it is there. It is something that you're going to have to just, there are some people that spend way more time than me cleaning up models. I just do it when it's like very visible. All right, I think I'm good there. I got that. I just smooth off kind of all these. So we'll put in there Mr. Charles Xavier. All right, let's get his big stompy leg. So a lot of people are asking me, am I switching from Bayou to Guild? I think you're actually going to see a lot of people doing that. I think you're going to see a lot of people that are like, holy crap, Guild looks super fun now. And they switch back to Guild because there's always been a lot of love for Guild. But the power has been a little lacking for some people. Some people make them work. Some people still love them. So I'm going to play them because I like the models. But maining still Bayou. Bayou's still really good. Plus I feel like a lot of people don't respect Bayou. There's a lot of good players who use them. But a lot of good players kind of poo-poo on them a little bit because, you know, they don't like the fluff or they think that they're a joke and they think the models look stupid, which I think the models look amazing. This is me personally. Me personally. All right, shoulder pads don't need to be that cleaned up. Little backpack. That's fine. It's probably fine. So, but I do like Guild, and actually, so Chris Ewan, those of you that don't know, and people that go back and kind of watch this, Chris Ewan used to be one of the original founders of the podcast, and he hasn't played a lot of Malifaux, and he's done that mostly because he just doesn't get the game yet, and there wasn't a faction or crew that really suited his playstyle. But that new Butcher model came out, and man, he fell in love with it. Dude loves it. So I got all this Guild stuff, but honestly, it might just be, hey, Chris, you can just play my stuff and just, hey, enjoy it. I'm probably just going to build this Hoffman model. The other ones I'll just build later, and I'll take pictures and start painting and putting them on ragequitwire.com and Twitter and Instagram. But I'll show you, because I'll show you how quick it can be to assemble stuff. It doesn't need to take you forever. I mean, I got this clipped off. I'm just kind of getting off the extra plastic. And I'll show you how quick this stuff glues when you know what you're doing. Okay, that's fine. That looks okay. There's a piece. So I'm sticking with I'm sticking with Bayou. The Bayou Masters that are coming out, I'm super jazzed for. Can't wait to do it. I'm going to put them together while I'm watching the news later. All right, so got it all clipped. Now, those of you that aren't super, you're like, I hate glue and I hate putting stuff together. There's two things that I always use. So especially if I'm doing plastics, and even not this glue can handle the plastics and some of the metal stuff, I always go with the medium because it's not as watery as a lot of the other glue. But the other thing I use, and you can get this from Hobby Lobby, this Accelerant I always use. So all it is it just, when you spray it in about 3 to 5 seconds, the glue is going to set. It's a chemical reaction. You don't want to inhale this stuff. It could be bad for you. And also, you don't want your fingers to have glue on them when you spray this, because it will accelerate it to your skin, and it's a burn. You know, it's going to suck. But let's get gluing some Hoffman. I'll show you how quick this can be. So first thing I always do, this is going to be last because we know it goes in his hand. Shoulder pads will also be a little later because we know. The feet will also be a little later because we know. All right, so we got all this stuff. We want to kind of dry fit it to figure out how it's going to go together. So I always do the obvious stuff first. So we got a little backpack here. And I got it upside down. At least I think I had it upside down. I might not. And this is where also I use the box art to figure out, like, okay, where the hell does this stuff go? So where's my Hoffman box? There it is. And you could also get the instructions up, but I like to figure out, I did have it right. So this goes on top. Always, 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 always dry fit stuff together. It's kind of curious. Trying to figure out where this stuff goes. Man, this might be one of the few models that I have to actually put the instructions up. I usually don't. I usually can just kind of dry fit it together and figure out how it goes. But sometimes you don't. Sometimes you gotta use it to figure it out. So I'm gonna go with the one that I know first. We'll get this leg on there. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is put a little glue on there. Stay up there, you. And then we're just gonna glue it on the way it's supposed to. So I kind of hold it loosely, spray, and then just make sure you put it on there quick because that thing's gonna set. So that's like 1, 2, and 3. And now I can let go of it, and it's pretty set on there. So that accelerant I always use. I'm going to pull up these instructions because this robot stuff, you have to double check because it can throw you off. All right, so that goes up there. That's shoulder, we got the feet. What is that little piece? So that little piece, so that's one arm. This little piece goes with his other arm. Okay. So it's going to kind of go like this, and then this piece bends around like that. Right. kind of like that. All right, so that's an arm. Glad we figured that out. That could have been bad. See, this doesn't look like it. Ah, there it is. I was saying it didn't fit flush, but now it does. Because you got this socket there. So we're just going to kind of loosely put that up there. Some dots on the end. Throw that sucker on there. Ciao. Perfect. I'll say as my fingers get stuck to it. And I always just throw a little bit on there when I do that. Just to get that quick dried. Alright, so let's do this big arm first. He's starting to fill out. He's starting to look like a big beefy robot dude. I think we want his arms on next, so we want the human arms. Always check your thumbs, make sure you're putting the right arm on. So that's going to go on this way. There we go. Okay. Always dry fit your stuff here. Pull this back up. Like I said, I don't have anybody in the chat, so I'm not going to keep on going too long. I do want to get this model together just so people can kind of see what some of the new hotness is going to look like once you got her together. Okay, that was close. So that, I almost didn't get it set in there before it dried. So that's always a pain in the butt when you do that. All right, and then this one, his hand is kind of going up a little bit. So he's going to be kind of like this. There we go, that's how it is. And a lot of times when you fit that in there, when they have the socket like that, it'll fit nice and snug the way it's supposed to. And if you put it in another way, it'll be off. All right. Now we got to see how these robot arms fit. I wonder if these shoulders fit on here before I glue it. I think it does. It does. It's sweet. So that one's going to go in there just like that. Okay. So there's different size kind of male side there. If you don't know what that is, that's kind of a military thing. When you put pieces together, they call it a male side because it's like penis, female side because, you know, whatever. But just the way they always do, kind of assembling stuff back together. And military never leaves you. Military never leaves you. Okay, and you are right there like that. Perfect. Yeah, something else. Captain Con is something that Chris Leopard and I are going to in February. I think it's February 4th, Super Bowl weekend, supposedly. And it's going to be really, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a content creator tournament on Friday, and then there's a just a 50 stone tournament on Saturday and Sunday. So super stoked for that. Let's get his feet on. We'll take care of that stuff here in a minute. All right, so that one probably goes on that foot. I have put on cross foot models before, so you do want to double check your feet here. I think did I chop that off? You always got to check too, because I think I chopped off one of the little bits on it. Okay, so that does go on that side. And it goes right there. All right, we got to figure it out. I didn't chop it off. Good job. I knew I could do it. Believe in myself. You always got to believe. I will not get glue on myself. I will not get glue on myself. Oh, come on. Didn't get enough right there. There we go. So if you don't get the glue sprayed, you're not obviously going to get the chemical reaction, and it'll still be loose, so you just want to make sure that you take care of that as soon as possible. Okay, we got that. Glue that right there. There we go. Power Man's going to be standing. It's like almost on his tippy toes. Ah, you jerk. Get in there. Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. We're getting there. Almost done. Almost done. Got the Power Man. Right now it looks a little weird, but I think once we get these bigger arms on there, we'll be good. All right, so this has got to go. How do you fit on there? So he's got it kind of up. So that means we got to have it kind of like that. I think that's the angle. All right, I think that's how we want it. All right, we're gonna go with it. You can always reinforce a little bit more, so you can always add more. Of course, I just lost my... There it is. Yeah, perfect. Had to kind of just keep twisting it till it sits, and you can really tell with plastics when you start messing with it. You can tell when it just fits the way it's supposed to. A lot of these new miniatures, actually most new miniatures, they're not going to be accidentally put in a lot of places. You can tell when it fits snug in there. So we just have to do this last arm, which is going to go probably just like that. And that's kind of closed, so that's going to be probably that. I mean, weird kits have gotten a lot better. The first models I put together were, I had some Brewmaster stuff, but I also had Zips box with the iron skeeters, which were terrible. And I didn't have the Accelerant either, but I was so impatient. I was like, screw it, we're going to put this crap together. Not sure how this electricity is going to go in his hand, but it's probably going to be something like that. Goes like that. I'll have to figure that out here in a minute. We'll figure out the electricity. We gotta get this last arm on. Okay. I don't know where I want this hand because it's got a very thin kind of connect point, it looks like. I'm just going to put it on there and see if it sticks. Come on, stick. Okay, I think that's where we want it. I think that. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Obviously, I don't know if I'm a fan of this Hoffman model. The aesthetics of it, I mean. It kind of, I don't know, is it just me? Is it a little underwhelming? We'll see if this lightning does it. We'll see if this makes me believe again. All right, so the lightning, let me pull this back up. I gotta see which way it's facing. So we got this coming down and this. Where do you set? Looks like it sets in the palm. Oh, I think I see how it fits. Yep, it's gonna go in there just like that. Okay. You folks will see momentarily. Okay, so we're gonna put it like that. And we're gonna set it like that. Then it's gonna dry. All right, so let's see what you folks think about this. Actually, let's get him on the dang base. He does fill out the base. Like I said, I don't know how I feel about the lightning stuff. It's not gonna break super easy, so that's good. All right, I'm gonna put him on the base. Okay. All right, so I don't know how I feel about this model. I'm going to show you guys it here in a second. Let's pull this card back up. The Inventor. Oops, I guess I do have to keep that up. All right. He's on there now. All right, so we have Hoffman, the Inventor. Get kind of a good angle of him here. So you can see he does fill out the base. I don't know how I feel about these legs. I think those little, looks like he skipped maybe robot leg day. If they were a little beefier, I think I'd be a little more on board. Also, if he had, what's one of his abilities? Let's flip that. I guess he is using his claws now. The other one, he had a welder. I guess he ditched the welder and is now just throwing currents at people. I guess, I don't know. Let's go back to that. Okay. But lightning's not terrible now that I look at it. get him electrocuting some Dashel here. A little bit for size comparison. Nice. So you can see this accelerant and some decent glue really makes putting stuff together easier. I just got this at Hobby Lobby. You can get it in the model section. They have model cars and stuff. Pretty easy to put together. Big model. You're gonna have to deal with Hoffman. I feel like people are gonna be seeing him a lot. He's cool. He's got robots. And this one seems to put out more damage and kind of control an area and kill stuff, whereas the other one is going to just not die. Just, we're just going to put robots here and suck it. I think the other one, or this inventor one, where is it? Final duel against, what was it? Is it on the front side here? I thought there was something. Oh, I think it's on the Metallurgist here, where you can't ignore the armor. Share power. Yeah, so, okay, it's not exactly that, but if it's a blast, a shockwave, or hazardous terrain, which that part is pretty big, the hazardous terrain damage, their armor can reduce the damage to 0. So I attack you, and that's a big deal. I mean, I could definitely see bringing this Metallurgist just to prevent a lot of hazardous damage coming in. Okay. All right, so folks, that was Hoffman. If I had more people in the chat, I'd stay up later and put some of the other cool stuff together. Hopefully you enjoyed it, though. I know I didn't get talking too much, but like I said, planning on doing it on Mondays. I was going to do this stream on Monday, but the stuff didn't come in till today. But Monday is going to be the day. The stream stayed pretty strong, so we didn't have any problems there, so we should be good. Yeah, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Trying to grow the channel. Our patrons made it where we can do a lot of cool stuff like this. Don't mind all the Twitch nonsense at the top. I haven't decided if I'm keeping that yet. But we're going to continue doing stuff like this, getting content out there, getting stuff you can look at. Is it worth you buying this stuff? And it's really up to you. So out of the whole kit and caboodle here, so we had a bunch of stuff. The titles, I recommend them. The ones you like. You don't need all of them, right? I'm not going to buy every guild and every Bayou box. I will buy every Bayou box. I'm not going to buy every guild one. I'm only buying the guild ones I like. So probably Hoffman, I have Perdita, and probably Lady J, and the new Dashel. Those are the ones I'm probably going to get. Whereas Bayou, I'm going to get all of them. They're really cool boxes. Give you a lot of playability, give you a lot of variety. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I got the Pale Rider also coming in, and then Dashel's Mounted Guard coming in too on Friday, so I'm excited for that. The new Nightmare box, we'll go ahead and show it one more time here. The Nightmare stuff, definitely recommend it. It's all built, but go back to the beginning of the video. It looks really solid. If you want a solid, good box of cards, the Iconic Fate deck, really good thing of cards. And yeah, it's going to freshen the game up so much, get so many new people into the game. Really am excited that we decided to do this kind of thing. Even though tournaments in person haven't been super a thing yet, it is coming up. It's building up. People are doing tournaments, starting small and growing it up again. And this stuff just freshened up the game, and it's going to get people excited to play. And I like the design space that they went into, really kind of challenging it and just trying to keep this game great. And I'm a big advocate for this game. There's a lot of games I play. I play Middle Earth. I've seen Crisis Protocol, played X-Wing, played 40K a bunch, played War Machine, played Guild Ball. I still play Guild Ball if it was still a game, but it's dead. But Malifaux, it's balanced. Stuff seems broken, like this Hoffman shit seems broken, but there's going to be some people that can give it a good fight. there's some masters that can play around it. And it's a balanced game. You have to score by the objectives. You're not just going to score because you kill stuff. You can kill everything in my list, but if I still score more points than you, I win. So have fun killing if you don't win. So I think we're going to leave it there. Got a cool episode coming out soon. It'll be next week. We actually had on the Malifaux guys. So that's going to be a fun conversation. We're going to talk more about some of these titles we haven't hit yet. So that'll be cool. You know I'm going to talk Bayou, right? You just know that's going to happen. Because if nobody else in this world is going to put out Bayou content, Rage Quit Wire is going to. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good advice. It's going to be silly, and it's going to be biased. But that's how we do it in the Bayou. So make sure that you guys, like I said, support us. You don't have to do it through Patreon, but if you do, we'd appreciate it at patreon.com/ragequitwire.com. Not .com, patreon.com/ragequitwire. And then if you want to check out ragequitwire.com, that's our site. I'll show it to you real quick, just while we're kind of wrapping this stuff up. So we just do a lot of, you can get the podcast episodes off of there, but you can also check out the news that we put. We put information, what's coming up, some of the stream info, which I'll put that information there. I didn't put it up there tonight. I got off work at 7, had to kind of rush through it, so we didn't have as much people come on. Are going to name this Mandatory Malifaux. So this is where we're putting our information instead of Facebook. Sorry, a weird place. I love you, but yeah, not a Facebook fan. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, so we're going to leave it there. Make sure that you guys are flipping cards, flipping tables, and we will see y'all next time when we do our next Mandatory Malifaux.